vulnerable, crawling through life, unaware that one day it will become something entirely different. But before that transformation, it must enter the cocoon. It must face stillness, uncertainty, and complete change. Well, that is fear, that is anxiety.
And that was me. I remember standing backstage at my first major presentation. My hands were clammy, my heart pounded, and my brain screamed at me to run. I was basically trapped inside my own cocoon of fear, suffocating. But what if I told you that inside that cocoon isn't death, but transformation? What if fear isn't something to fight, but something to harness?
So let's break it down. Fear and excitement stem from the same physiological responses. Our heart races, adrenaline surges, and our senses sharpen. The only difference? The story we tell ourselves about it. In a study at Harvard, participants were asked to give speeches. One group was told to say I'm calm, while the other was asked to reframe their anxiety into excitement by saying I'm excited. The excited group performed significantly better as they had tricked their brain into seeing their fear as their fuel.
And that's when I realized fear is not the enemy, it's an energy source waiting to be redirected. Back to that stage I mentioned earlier. I stood frozen, my feet were glued to that stage as if I had become a part of it, and my inner dialogue was pure terror. What if I forget everything? What if I stand there in silence, completely humiliated? What if they see right through me, see how nervous I am? What if I fail? My mind spiraled, my breath shallowed, and my hands were trembling at my sides. The weight of expectation, both from myself and from the watching crowd, pressed down on me like an invisible force. But then I did something entirely different, something so small, yet so powerful. I took a slow breath and whispered to myself, I'm excited. It felt ridiculous at first, like a weak attempt to trick myself out of panic. My fear laughed in my face, telling me it was useless. But I said it again, and with each repetition, something shifted. My breathing began to steady, my posture straightened, and I walked on stage. My voice shook at first, but then something clicked. My fear didn't disappear, it transformed. It made me present, gave me my energy, and sharpened my focus. By the end of the speech, I wasn't just speaking, I was thriving, because I was no longer a prisoner of my own fear.
And that is when you realize fear isn't just an obstacle, it's a force, it's a defense mechanism, an evolutionary response designed to keep us safe from threats. But in modern life, fear isn't about survival, it's about the unknown. We fear judgment, embarrassment, and failure, yet the same biological responses that once helped our ancestors escape predators can now help us break through limitations. Neuroscientists refer to cognitive reappraisal as a powerful emotional regulation strategy that allows individuals to interpret their emotional responses. By viewing fear as a signal for growth rather than danger, we can transform our experiences from feeling like victims to embracing our role as creators. This shift enables us to move from paralysis in the face of fear to fluidity in overcoming challenges, and from feeling confined to recognizing limitless possibilities. And cognitive reappraisal engages multiple brain regions, such as the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, involved in cognitive control, while reducing activity in the amygdala, responsible for processing emotions. This technique is widely used in therapeutic settings, particularly in cognitive behavioral therapy, allowing individuals to correct and recognize their maladaptive thought patterns. By fostering a new understanding of our experiences, cognitive reappraisal empowers us to cultivate resilience and navigate life's challenges with greater confidence and adaptability.
Overcoming fear isn't about giant leaps, it's about incremental steps. If you fear public speaking, don't start with a TEDx stage. Start with a small gathering, a toast at dinner, a voice memo to yourself. This method is called exposure therapy, and scientists have proved it to be one of the most useful steps in conquering anxiety. The key, take consistent and intentional steps out of your comfort zone. Don't forget, fear shrinks when faced. So the more you confront your fear, the less power it holds over you. And how exactly do we transform anxiety into power? Here's a three-step method, and the first one is called reframing the narrative. This first step involves changing I'm anxious to I'm excited. This shift transforms fear into anticipation, encouraging a positive mindset, and by viewing anxiety as excitement, you open yourself to growth and new experiences, enhancing performance in challenging situations.
And the second one is to move the energy. Fear generates intense energy that requires an outlet. Engaging in physical activities such as deep breathing, stretching, and power poses helps release this tension. Moving your body channels fear into constructive action, promoting relaxation and boosting confidence, allowing you to face challenges more effectively.
The last one is called acting despite fear. Courage is defined by the actions taken in the presence of fear, so rather than waiting for fear to disappear, take action by whether starting a group project or speaking publicly. Each courageous act builds resilience, empowering you to confront future challenges with greater confidence. Additionally, visualization is also a powerful tool. Athletes use this technique before big games and performers use it before going on stage. Imagine yourself succeeding. See it, feel it, and embrace it. Your brain doesn't differentiate between imagination and reality. It just follows the images you give it.
So think of the world's greatest athletes, leaders, and innovators. Do you think they never felt fear? Well, of course they did, but they leaned into it. Michael Jordan missed over 9,000 shots in his career and failed multiple times. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for the television, and J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers. Each of them felt fear, but instead of letting it stop them, they used it to push forward. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't fear. It's what they do with it, because fear is universal, but the decision to use it as fuel is personal.
Growth lives on the other side of fear, so when we avoid fear, we stay stagnant, but when we embrace it, we evolve. Every challenge, every uncomfortable situation, and every moment of doubt is a stepping stone towards a greater version of ourselves. So the next time fear grips you, ask yourself, what's on the other side of this? What would happen if I didn't turn away from this fear, and what if this fear is actually a sign that I'm stepping into something so much bigger than I could have ever imagined?
Fear and anxieties are often perceived as obstacles, unwelcome disruptions on our path, yet they're more accurately indicators of transformation. At first, they create uncertainty, shaking our confidence and clouding our judgment, but with time, intentional effort, and reflection, their role becomes clearer.
They are not barriers to progress, but signals that we are stepping beyond the familiar. As we learn to respond to our fear, it begins to sharpen our focus, and anxiety transforms into purposeful energy. Through this process of metamorphosis, we grow steadily and quietly, emerging with greater resilience, clarity, and strength.
So basically, fear isn't the enemy, it's the cocoon before the wings. Every great leader, innovator, and changemaker has felt fear. The difference, they didn't let it paralyze them, they let it propel them. So next time, don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until the fear disappears. Instead, let it transform you. Use it, move through it, and let it be the force that lifts you higher. Because, my friends, the world isn't waiting for you to be fearless, it's waiting for you to be brave. Thank you.